I'd first like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence for 9/11. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, justice for all.
To the breaking news in the hunt for the suspect in the killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
Get in here.
Charlie Kirk shot and killed with thousands of people. The FBI now of a person of
Thank you all. Okay, we're going to start off with taking a roll call for the Greenbriar Board. Mark Sirks. Alan Greenberg. Chester Trubinsky. Absent. Jack Sandler. Absent. Let's go to the WOA Board. Tom Clark. Jay Ressler. Bob Brown. Kathy Dodano. Joe Atanasio.
Here.
Kathy Clark and Gleason.
Here.
And Jeff Simonson's absent. Jack Sandler normally runs these meetings. He had a conflict tonight, so you're going to be hearing me talk way too much. So I hope I do well. First things first, we are going to start with the Greenbriar Board, and then we're going to go over to the WOA Board. So we have for the Greenbriar Board, we have the proof of notice of the meeting, which was emailed out to all homeowners. It was also sent via mail to anyone without an email address to ensure that everyone got the notice of the meeting and the nomination forms and everything else. Right now, I'd actually like to lay a couple ground rules for the meeting tonight. Just try and make sure that we'll be respectful of the audience before any candidate speaks. Candidates will be given a couple minutes to speak, and we're going to go in alphabetical order by last name. Before we get started, we're actually looking for the appointment of some judges to count paper ballots. If anyone from the audience would like to volunteer. Great, we got a couple. Can you guys see me after the meeting and I'll get your names and everything? Because I don't remember all 3,500 people here in the community. We are also going to certify that we have the nominees submitted. So for the Greenbriar Board, Cliff Durlacher has submitted his resume. We have Alan Greenberg as well. And we have Ron Parisi. So we have 3 candidates for 3 available spots for Greenbriar. Greenbriar does not, their governing documents do not allow them to take nominations from the floor. So let's get started. We are actually going to ask that the current board members who are up on stage who are not running join the audience, and any candidates who are in the audience to come on up and grab a seat. Sorry. Yeah, we could. You can come right here. Come right here. Okay, now we have all the candidates in place. Each candidate may have a resident endorsement that takes less than 2 minutes. We're going to go alphabetical by last name. So Cliff Durlacher, do you have anyone to endorse you, or would you like to start with your 2-minute candidate speech? You want to come up to the microphone and state your name and address, please? You got to press the button down there. Thank you.
Nadine Waldman, 58 Birmingham.
Thank you, Nadine. Do you have anything to say on Cliff's behalf?
I have watched him for the 5 years I'm here. He is one of the most energetic people I know, and he gets the job done. So thank you for all you've done, because he does. He gets the job done no matter what it is.
Thank you, Nadine. Cliff, we are going to turn it over to you now. You have 2 minutes. I don't want to have to time you.
Good evening. I'm Cliff Durlacher. I live at 7 Brighton Court. I've been a Greenbriar at Whittingham resident for over 6 years. Over that time, I've been a member of numerous clubs and attended many concerts, dinner dances, and golf outings. I have represented our community in intercommunity activities, including pickleball, softball, billiards, and water volleyball. I've also helped and participated and organized our Greenbriar Olympics. For the past 2 years, I've been president of the 200-member pickleball club, and in that capacity have developed healthy working relationships with the WOA board and management. I was a close advisor on the beautiful pickleball courts project. Real estate experts state that a high-quality pickleball court returns more than its cost in higher property values. I've lived in condominium communities for over 30 years. Prior to Greenbriar, I lived in a 368-home adult community for 19 years and was on the board of trustees for over 12 years and serving as president for my last 4 years. During that time, I oversaw projects including roof and privacy fence replacements, road repairs, tennis and pickleball court, and outdoor swimming pool renovations. In addition, we rebuilt all balconies and completed all of these projects in a fiscally responsible manner without ever needing to assess the owners. I was fully involved with the vetting of vendors and the subsequent work with the contractors. I also worked with 3 different management companies during that period. I'm a proponent of the board consolidation. I'm convinced that it would make the management of our community more efficient and also help reap some cost savings, money that can be better spent keeping our community beautiful. My experience, energy, and commitment to enhance our wonderful lifestyle at Greenbriar are just some of the reasons that I anticipate bringing value to our community and would therefore appreciate your vote for a seat on the Greenbriar board. Thanks in advance for your consideration.
Thank you, Cliff. Now we're going to turn it over to Alan Greenberg.
Hi, I have nobody who I plan to endorse me, but if anybody would like to, please feel free. I was kidding. Joe, question or endorsement? Thumbs up? Huh, thank you. Did everybody hear that? Because I want to make sure everybody hears help. Okay. All right. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. So good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out on this important evening. I wanted to thank our other candidates sitting on my either side of me for volunteering their time, their skills, and energy to become part of the Greenbriar board. I've been part of the Greenbriar board practically since moving here 5 years ago. And as you will read in my bio, I was appointed to the board in 2021 to fill a vacant seat. I ran the next year and won a seat, and here we are again in 2025 doing this again. I hope to continue my work serving the Greenbriar community. Today, I am the vice president of our board. I am the liaison to our newcomers committee, which does great work. I also served as the co-chair to the WOA Traffic Safety Committee, making recommendations, some accepted, some not, to ease speeding and make our roads safer around our community. I also started with the help of many, the Greenbriar Wine Club, which has been a great success. Not quite as successful as Cliff's Pickleball Club, but we're working on it. You can often find me around the pool, the gym, on occasion the golf course or tennis court. I'm a member of some clubs, hopefully more when I eventually retire. As for retiring, sadly not yet. I'm still running a rep firm selling wine to wine shops, restaurants, and I sell wine barrels and corks to wineries. Prior to moving here, I served 8 years on the board in my old community in Freehold, where we raised our family. My goal from day one was to ensure we do all we need to do to maintain the value and aesthetics of our homes, one of our greatest assets. My plan when elected is to do all I can to continue this mission with the goal of keeping costs as low as possible while meeting our obligations and at the same time bringing the most amount of value to our homeowners. Generally speaking, the Greenbriar board has less obligations and work than the WOA board has to do. I do have a good relationship with the current WOA board, and while we are separate entities, we also work together on some projects and have a cohesive approach to what I bring. I am approachable to serve you. If you can connect with me tonight or ask questions, please feel free, or you can also find me in the book if you want to reach out at a later date and time. Thank you again. Best of luck to our other candidates, and I look forward to your vote this election.
Thank you, Alan. Wow, this mic's loud. Now we're going to go over to Ron Parisi.
Yes, hi, my name is Ron Parisi. I have no planned endorsement. If anybody's willing to endorse me, I would appreciate that. Linda Schiff.
You want to come up to the mic, Linda? Thank you.
Good evening, Linda Schiff, 40 Rutland Lane. I endorse Ron. He's an intelligent man. He has integrity. He's friendly. His priorities are in the right place. I'm fond of his wife as well as him. I've known him, let's see, on and off for 5 years. And welcome him and his wife to our wonderful community. He'll be a great asset.
Thank you. I put this over here so I can do this easy. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. I am a graduate of Brooklyn Tech High School. That's always works, right? Brooklyn. And I'm an accounting graduate of Long Island University. I moved to New Jersey after I got married to a place called Twin Rivers, which is a community of, condominium association where I lived for about 6-7 years, and I was president for 5 of those years. I had to deal with certain situations where we had some devastating fires and we had to negotiate with insurance companies, attorneys, and that type of thing. It was a major negotiation. Twin Rivers was one of the first condo associations in the country at that time. After there, I had moved to a fee simple community called Lexington Village. I was board president there for about 10 years. I was a trustee for about 35 years. I am a relatively new homeowner in the Greenbriar Whittingham community, but I'm not unfamiliar with homeowners associations and their impact on our daily lives. I want to be able to leverage my experience as a trustee in a condominium and a fee simple townhouse community to add value to our community and enhance our lives. I believe that the needs of every homeowner are important, and I'm committed to addressing them. I believe in keeping property values high, improving the quality of life for homeowners. I prioritize open communication to keep homeowners informed to avoid unexpected costs. Communication is one of the most important things, whether things are great or not. Not everybody loves everything that happens, but if people are open to communication, there's a better understanding of what is transpiring in the community. I find it's very, very key. I want to bring a new viewpoint to our community. I am always open to answering questions and addressing concerns from homeowners, just as I did in my past role as a trustee. I'm happy to speak to people on an individual basis. I've done that in the past. Homeowners, what this association has been created for. I'm living here a very short period of time, and I've been blown away by the way the community is run. And I hope to keep it that way as part of my responsibilities as trustee. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Now we're going to have, if anyone has questions from the audience for the candidates, you can come up to the microphone one by one. We'll try and limit it to about 2 minutes apiece. Any takers? Okay, we'll get some more flyers. We'll actually be putting them out on a table across from the elevator tomorrow morning for everybody to see, and you'll also be getting them with your electronic ballot. And if you don't get an electronic ballot or have an email, we're going to be hand delivering those things to you, but we'll get you some, okay? You're welcome. Yes, we'll actually be posting this on. Yep. Nobody wants to come ask the candidates any questions? Careful.
Good evening. I'm Irene McNulty, 105 Chichester Road, or we often call it Chichester Highway. And I'd like to know what the candidates feel we can do to get the people from speeding in the community, whether it be the homeowners or the vendors that come in, even the senior buses that go through the community to pick up people. They just come flying down the roads. One of our neighbors was recently telling us that they almost got hit by a car. Chichester has, kind of turns off to the side. And at that point, if you're walking and, we're told, and it's a good idea to walk against traffic. However, on that side of the street, if you're walking and there's cars parked there, you really can't see the cars coming around that curve, and someone's really going to get hurt. I know a while back there was an issue over by the nurse's office with parking, and to prevent that from happening again, bollards were put there. And in our community bylaws, and we have posted around the community that our speed limits are strictly enforced. I don't know where they are enforced or what can be done, because I think something needs to be done before someone gets seriously injured.
Any of the candidates want to address it?
Yeah, I driven around, and I actually had an experience where I was driving the speed limit on Chichester, and I couldn't believe that somebody was passing me by. I was shocked by that. I will say it's the one and only time that I did see that. I mean, we have rules and regulations here. People have to take personal responsibility in what they're doing. You could do a lot of different things to enforce this, but it's a matter of catching the person at the right time. It's a very difficult thing to do as far as catching people doing that.
Someone had made a suggestion, which I wonder if it was, if it has to be presented like to our engineering firm, perhaps putting some stop signs along Chichester at various intersections. And hopefully, and if there were stop signs for the people stopping there, they would have to obey the stop sign. It would obviously police or fire, if there's an emergency, they have the right of way, but that would perhaps help instead of the speed bumps. That speed bumps are a big problem because of winter weather and such. But I don't know what can be done, if there's anything that other communities have done, because it's our rules and regulations and bylaws say that we enforce this, and if there's an injury in the community, the board is the community is going to be held liable because there's really no enforcement. And I don't know what the solution is. Whether it's best to have the police come in, and I don't know what we have to do to. I know there's certain guidelines for that, but I think it's really a very serious matter that needs attention.
So I've dealt with this in other communities as well. The stop sign idea sounds feasible, but in addition to that, I think that in the summer months, to have a speed bump by the stop sign, so that a second way to get people to stop at that stop sign. However, it should be a temporary speed bump that can be removed in the winter so that snow plowing can take place. So, but people will get accustomed to stopping at the stop sign because they're going to be wanting to stop anyway for that speed bump. So I'm thinking that might be something to look into.
Okay, and is that something, I guess, I know two of you had mentioned that you were in prior communities. I don't know if they had any,
Yeah,
regulations.
yes, I put speed humps in
Speed bumps.
another community, not speed bumps, speed humps. But nobody wants them in front of their house, so that's an issue.
Okay,
So
but the stop signs, I don't know what's involved. Is that just getting clearance from an engineering consultant?
probably the township as well.
We have private roads, so we can put
Okay.
them up.
It was the private road, so we could do that.
Okay, I'd appreciate that. And I don't think Chichester is the only road that's the speeding is a problem. I think Harwood is another through street that I've heard people talk about the speeding. I don't know about other roadways. I can't really speak for that. Thank you for attention to it.
Thanks. And I'll just add, if I could, what the two gentlemen have already added. Speeding is a major issue in just about every community, so we're not unique, unfortunately. I did serve on the WOA Traffic Safety Committee, which was really trying to find ways to ease speeding, and it was really focused on Whittingham Drive. And if you've been here before or heard me speak at prior meetings, we had clocked somebody doing 68 miles an hour and a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit, and I would often refer to that as faster than the turnpike speed limit in our community. So there are traffic calming measures. As Cliff had mentioned, speed bumps, speed humps, speed tables, there's all sorts of speed issues. The reality is on your street, it would be in front of somebody's home.
A stop sign?
No, a speed hump, speed bump,
Okay.
speed table, one of those kind of devices. So a stop sign might be a viable option. It was something that when we reconvene as a board, we can certainly look at that and see if it makes sense or where we can add that in.
I think more than one as well,
More than
especially,
likely- it's a long road, so more than likely that would make sense.
yeah, especially in the ones where, there's kind of like a blind spot in the curved areas.
Sure.
Mm.
So it's an ongoing issue, unfortunately, and it happens, like I said, in every single community. These two gentlemen both lived in communities that are similar in some ways, being a homeowners association. I was in one as well, and it was a significant issue in there too. It just, sadly, it happens. It would be great if we can just tell people, drive like your grandchildren lived here, and people would drive the speed limit or something close to the speed limit. Unfortunately, people sometimes are in a rush and they just don't care. So it's
Yeah.
something we can work on as a board.
Yeah, I'd appreciate it because in fact, you see very often you see, health aides walking, a resident in a wheelchair down the street because we don't have sidewalks. And then you often see, some residents with perhaps their grandchildren following on a bicycle. And it's really very, very dangerous. So I'd appreciate attention to that. I think it's really very important.
Sure.
Thank you.
And just one additional follow-up. So the township buses that you see coming through, each township bus has a number on the back. If you call the township and report that bus number, they will handle the situation. I don't know if it's a long-term or short-term solution, but it is a solution.
Good evening, Sandra Cohen, 9 Winthrop Road. Chichester, I'm living here forever, so I should know this. It's just one long road. Are there cross streets? So are there stop signs at the cross street? I don't think you could put a stop sign in the middle of a road where there are no cross streets. I don't know if you're allowed to do that, even on private property. But certainly, I would imagine that any of the cross streets have a stop sign,
So
don't they?
all the cross streets, anything that tees into Chichester will have a stop sign. I believe what she was suggesting is putting a stop sign, stop line on Chichester itself versus
Just anywhere?
Technically, I suppose you can put it anywhere. Sure.
Oh, yes, at intersections, yes.
So then it would be a three-way stop.
Well, it would be two-way because it's not the other way. It's
No, it
not,
would be two on Chichester, one coming in each direction and one where it tees into whatever that side street would be called.
would that be something you should consider or would consider?
I think it's worthwhile. So when the
Okay.
when the Greenbriar board reconvenes, it's something we can take up.
Thank you.
I just wanted to add one other thing. We don't have sidewalks per se in this community. And because of that, people are very often walking in the road. I would like to have some way to have people be more visible, especially at night. I know that there have been times when I was almost right up to somebody before I saw them wearing dark clothes in the nighttime between streetlights, and they're almost invisible. So I'm going to see about doing something about that.
Hey, next question.
Yes, I live on Harwood, 44 Harwood, Marie Montecuto, and I second the recommendation that something be done on Harwood. We have the same issue with speeding cars. And I have another recommendation is to install cameras and find those who are over the speed limit. They do use them in cities. And that might be the solution without having to install speed bumps. There's also, I've seen signs that have lights around them when you approach, like 25 miles per hour, and the sign lights up. And that also is a deterrent. So those are a couple more suggestions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question.
Good evening. I'm Norman Goldberg. I live in Greenbriar on Westminster Drive for about 1.5 years now. There's a pressing issue that I see happening. We finally have gotten a lovely little restaurant that people can go to, that can be enhanced for many, many different things, for clubs, for catering to the pool, for coming off the golf course and sitting. And yet I sit there sometimes and to my amazement, nobody is supporting this restaurant. A business needs financial support to be able to sustain itself. I sat there once for almost an hour. I was the only table for lunch. I sat there this afternoon.
Sir?
Not a person walked in.
Sir, do you have a question for the candidates?
I
'Cause
do.
that's,
I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay.
To the candidates, what can we do to sustain and enhance this organization before we lose it? Because the way I see it, it's not going to be around too much. They have to pay their employees. They have food costs. They have various other costs in running a business. And I asked the candidates, what can we do to sustain this
So
and make
hope-
it better?
Yeah, I hope you guys don't mind if I jump in and start this. So first off, I agree with what you're saying. I would hate to lose the restaurant. I think they do a terrific job in running a club. They do a terrific job for us as well. The unfortunate reality is that is not a Greenbriar amenity. It is a WOA amenity. So our function, this group up here, plus the folks in the audience, that is not something that the Greenbriar board would tackle. That would be a question you could ask of them if it's an appropriate question tonight too.
You got out of that one, okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear
You
you.
got out of that one.
It's not a matter of getting out of it. It's not our.
Well, needless to say,
When-
to the boards,
well, when we,
I beg of you to do something before we lose it.
okay. When we get to the WOA board, you can ask that question.
Put my coffee down.
I wasn't gonna let you guys.
I want to start by saying, I know a couple of the candidates up there, and both of them that I know. Alan and Ron Parisi are great people. I served, say what?
Your name and address, please?
My name,
Yes.
Ed Kornfeld, 9 Wellington Place, Greenbriar. I served as president of my board at the development next to Ron Parisi's development. And I know that for a fact that he had a tremendous impact on his board. As far as Alan goes, I've known him a while, quite a while, and he's very interested in bringing value to Greenbriar. I've seen what he's done with the wine club and what you're now going to do with the bourbon club. At the very least, we'll be very happy.
Do
I
you
have a question for the board.
Okay.
In my time as president of my board, I found ways to do the most important thing I think a board can do, and that is the reserves. Without quality reserves, you've got real problems. If something hits and we don't have the money, we're going to have a real issue. And I've been pushing for a while now, trying to get in people's ear. As far as the buy-in at Greenbriar, it's $2,000. Those of you that moved here, you know that. Some that were here earlier paid a little bit less. The developments around here, there were developments around here charging $3,000, $4,000 for a buy-in. Now, most people that come to Greenbriar or Whittingham are coming from a house that they've sold, and they want to get into an over 55 development where there's value.
Do you have a question? Because you're about out of time with 2 minutes.
Yeah. They don't care if it's a 2,000 buy-in, 3,000 buy-in. I certainly didn't. I hope some of you didn't. I think we need to raise the buy-in here. 150 houses sold a year in Greenbriar.
Sir, is there a question?
Yeah, can you do something about raising the buy-in? Is there anybody here who has a comment on it?
Oh, all right.
Everyone, please be reminded, this is questions for the board.
Just to clarify, the buy-in is fixed. The dollar amount we're allowed to charge is fixed by law, New Jersey Condo Association law, and it's tied to the monthly maintenance fee that you pay. The buy-in is a certain multiple of that monthly fee. In order to raise the buy-in, we would have to raise the monthly fee, which we don't do. We don't work backwards. We work on the monthly fee, and the buy-in is tied to that. We are actually already exceeding the limit that's allowed for the buy-in. The buy-in also really does not go to the reserves that this gentleman is asking about. As far as Greenbriar's reserves go, we're in very, very good shape. Greenbriar, of course, has a very small, much smaller capital budget than does WOA and Whittingham. So it's much easier for Greenbriar to control their reserves. So the reserves are in good shape. This gentleman is right, reserves are important. And I know that for a fact that the WOA board has been working diligently to improve the financial help of the reserves that they have to deal with. But it's not the issue that this gentleman brings up because we're tied to the dollar figure of our maintenance. Okay?
Thank you, Mark. Are there any other questions for the Greenbriar candidates? I'm not seeing any, so we are going to adjourn the Greenbriar section of the meeting and move over to the WOA section. Candidates, you're excused if you would like to leave. If not, you can stay and continue with the fun. Thank you, gentlemen. You guys can get by me. Okay, we are switching gears over to the WOA candidates. We have the proof of notice of the meeting, which was also emailed to all homeowners with email. If you did not have email, it was mailed to you. And we also have the certification of all the nominees. We have 3 candidates for 3 seats available for the WOA board. But first, we are going to actually ask if there are any nominations from the floor because that's in the WOA's documents. Do I have any nominations for candidates from the floor? Seeing none, we are actually going to move to the candidates in alphabetical order for their 2 minutes. And we are going to start with Bob Brown. Bob, do you have anybody in the audience to endorse you, or would you like to give a 2-minute speech?
Yes, I have someone in the audience. Come up to the podium, please.
My name is Carol Keating and I live at 37 Westminster Drive. I nominate Bob wholeheartedly. I've known Bob for as long as I'm here, which is 5 years. And since he was elected to the first board, I've seen many, many improvements. We're notified of so many things that happen that we never even knew were happening before. I like what I see. I like the team that Bob is on, and I would like to continue to see the improvement. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Bob, you ready?
Yes, thank you, Carol. I've been on the board for the last 2 years. It's a great board. I get along with everyone. We're doing a great job, and we all have each other's support. And we're moving forward with a lot of great projects, and we've accomplished a lot of projects. There's more to be done, but it takes time to do it. And we're doing the best we can with what we have. I've been in the community now, it's going on 9 years, and I really like the community, and I want to keep everything as the values as high as possible. And we're working on it. We have beautiful amenities and we want to improve on them, and we are. We have a new gym and there's a lot of new things here, the pickleball courts. And it's a great facility. It really is. And the team that's here is great. I'd like to stay with them and work with them as long as I can. And I would like your support. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Bob. Next up, Tom Clark. Do you have anyone to endorse you from the audience?
Yes, I do.
Great.
Maureen and She'll come down.
Good evening. I'm Maureen Bonagiro, and I live at 74A Winthrop. I wrote this because there are too many things that I could possibly forget, and I don't want anything that is left undone. I am taking this opportunity to endorse Tom Clark for re-election to the board. And since joining the board, serving from 24 to present, he has overseen many changes that have benefited our community. This board has included workshop meetings where issues are presented and discussed, and homeowners can give feedback on projects before they are voted on. We received our first solar credits after completing New Jersey's solar certification that had not been done by the previous administration, with $36,000 back to our community and eligibility for future quarterly credits. The new newspaper, The Pulse, arrives at every home, and a new phone book will arrive sometime soon with no cost to homeowners. Many previously used vendors have been changed and work given to vendors with more favorable rates and equal or better quality work. The greenery is a great addition and hopefully will continue to with our patronage. And I emphasize that. People have got to come out and use the greenery if we expect it to continue.
Our recently upgraded cardio equipment is the most advanced in the market, and many are delighted with the 8 new pickleball courts. Roofs continue to be replaced in the Whittingham section, and fences should be arriving soon. If elected, Tom Clark will continue to be a positive force, making Greenbriar at Whittingham an attractive and affordable community. Thank you.
All right, Tom, you ready?
Good evening, everyone. That's how I generally start the meetings off. I always like to welcome the people who take the time to come to the meetings. And I really want to thank you all for the past 2 years of having the honor and the privilege of serving you as a trustee and now as president. It's been a great pleasure to make changes in our community that are really positive. And it's been a big pleasure for me over the last 2 years to work with Bob Brown and Kathy Donano. We ran as a team. We stuck together as a team here. And I honestly believe that's why a lot of the changes that have happened are now in place. We did take the time and the work, and it was a lot of work when we brought a professional management team in to run our organization. It took many, many hours, work that we did in weeks that should have probably taken months to make the positive changes that are all happening. And everyone who stops me and talks to me, sends me an email, basically are really happy with the changes we've made within this building, within the clubhouse, within the gym. These things didn't happen overnight. And the pickleball courts that just recently came online, that was years into talking, and we did it in the last year that we were here. Our first year we were here, it really took us a year to fully get a grasp of the financial situations we had here. Kathy has been great as a treasurer. She really has helped us put things in a priority and know where the money is, how to reserve it, how to move forward, and how to spend it on the things that are the most important in the most efficient way. So I've been really happy, and it's been a privilege, as I said, to really serve the community that I live in. And I would really enjoy being here in another 2 years to serve you all. So I appreciate you all coming out, and thank you for all the support that you've shown. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Kathy Donano is up next. Kathy, do you have anybody in the audience that'd like to come give you a glowing endorsement?
I do not, because thank you, Joe. All of my friends and my husband are playing pickleball. There are leagues going on right now, so thank you, Joe.
Hi, Joe Atanasio, 20 Wellington Place. I'm on the board. And I've been in finance for 42 years, 37 years on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, and then 7 years with the Financial Regulatory Authority. I have never seen anyone in my years in finance that can do anything better than that woman right there. Okay? If you look at an Excel spreadsheet, you know how big the numbers are. And I've seen this woman look at a number and say, that's in the wrong spot. How the hell does she see that? She's amazing. She's an amazing treasurer. And guess what? If we lose her, okay, we have a big problem. Thank you.
Joe, those are very kind words. Thank you. So, should I start? I want to thank all the residents and the homeowners who came out tonight or who are Zooming in. We don't want to forget them, who came out to listen to the candidates speak. We appreciate that. Thank you. And also good luck to all the candidates. So for the last 2 years, as you've heard, I have served as the WOA board treasurer. So I just want to go over, what does a treasurer do? The treasurer of an HOA is responsible for managing the financial health of the association. In our case, the associations. We review bank statements, financial statements. We scrutinize invoices, sorry, Matt, that are prepared by management, and we approve them for payment. There are 3 levels of approval: first management, second treasurer, and then third president, so that everyone, if they have any questions, want to have any questions about, what the vendor was or what they're charging, we all have that opportunity. So what did I do as treasurer over the last 2 years? I worked with First Services Financial Division when they first came in on a monthly basis ever since, to ensure that all accounting entries were made accurately and to the appropriate GL and HOA association. And I also made sure that the monthly financial reports were uploaded onto the resident portal in Connect for homeowners to review. And I will say it as I say it at every meeting: if anyone does not know how to access it, please come to me and I will show you. I prepared monthly financial summaries for our Budget and Finance Committee meetings in order to put the financials in a format that they are all accustomed to. And I prepare summaries for them. Together with Budget and Finance, I prepared the 2025 budget and presented it to the community, and also prepared presentations for the second quarter 2024, full year 2024, and the second quarter 2025 to update the community on our financial health. Now, in addition, I worked on ensuring that we have funding in place for the immediate capital projects that were needed to be done based on our capital reserve study. So those that we've already spoke about: pickleball courts, roofs for the condos, fences, and so on. Now, what are my objectives for the next 2 years if I'm elected again? I will continue to work on long-range planning for capital projects. We need to ensure that there is adequate funding for the most necessary upcoming projects required to keep the community and Whittingham homes in a state of good repair. I will also continue to work with the current board to maintain transparency. And I truly believe that as homeowners, we have the right to know and understand where our maintenance dollars go. So I want to thank you all for your time. And as always, and I've said it at every meeting, if you have any questions, please come to me. I'd be happy to answer.
Thank you, Kathy. And other candidates, Tom and Bob. We're going to get to the portion where the residents can come up and ask questions at the podium to the candidates. And questions, let's try and just keep it to questions if anybody has any.
Dennis Caliger, 29C Rutland. And the 3 of you thought you came here to retire. Tom, I bet you work more hours now than you did with the railroad. Got to add it up. I have one question. As far as the restaurant is concerned, as you know, it's my background, family background. Can't we, as an association, demand that they be our house caterer, and all the events that are done here has to go to the greenery? And unless somebody needs a kosher caterer for some reason, and that would probably help support them.
Okay, well, First of all, I'm glad the question came up about the restaurant. As you all know, we pondered for months interviewing interested candidates. We had 7 interested people in running an operation here. And the current Matt Federici, who has opened the Greenery, really came in and offered us an outstanding package. And we couldn't just say no to that. It was so good. Really nice guy, comes from a restaurant background family. They know what they're doing. They know how to treat customers. They run and they give you a good product. Someone asked the question before, what can we do to help the restaurant? And I'm going to say this to everyone in the room and hopefully everyone on Zoom. Come to the restaurant and eat your dinners there. You have to support the restaurant. You know, and I speak with Matt all the time. And Matt basically tells me that of 2,500 people that live here, he sees the same 400 people. What happened to the other 2,100 people? He needs those people to sustain the money he needs to run that operation. And we help them. We finance we don't charge them rent. We pick up the utilities. We help them out with all the emails, advertising in the Post newspaper. We give them a page to give a monthly update of what they're going to do in the restaurant and specials and so on. So the board has really done its best. But to answer your question, we currently do any function that's a WOA function, we use his restaurant. We can't speak for the clubs that are here. That's up to their boards.
Why not? They
Because
don't-
they have their own boards and they'll make the decisions on who they want to use. We're not going to speak for the clubs. We can't. They have a board and they make the decisions based on their membership because they were elected by their membership to serve them. So we can't speak for them. But anything that WOA runs, yes, we can.
Yeah.
And we do.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just want to say I'm thrilled with the job you guys have done. And I wanted to see the entire board for another year or two. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hi, Sandra Conine Winthrop. So nobody is running against you guys?
This is what we're told, yes.
Right, okay. But we have to do this no matter what, but
Yes,
So-
correct.
nobody's running against anybody.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. I just want everybody to understand that.
Hi, Nadine Waldman again, 58 Birmingham. A lot of you know me from Facebook, always supporting the restaurant. Past precedent has been that we voted and we put on $15 per month. Well, we're going to support that again. You don't need a vote. I've been on.
Well, you know.
No, you don't. It's
I've been
past
asked a lot,
precedents.
I've been asked a lot of questions in the past week or so in regards, there's obviously a lot of rumors flying around here. I haven't received anything officially from the restaurant in any of these rumors. So I
No, I
cannot
know
respond
that.
and speak to rumors. I speak to Matt regularly, and if anything comes up, I'll certainly, like I do everything else, share it with the community. But as far as a door fee, that's not going to be, if it ever gets to that point, that's not something the board decides. It gets put out to the community and the homeowners because it's part of the adding money to your HOA fees, and that's changing your documents. So it has to be voted
So
on by the
there's no
homeowners.
past precedent with that? Because I know when I
Oh,
worked.
no,
lived
there
in
was.
Marlboro,
The last
it
time
was
that
past
happened, there
precedent.
was a really big meeting and
Oh,
they
I
actually had to
remember.
shut the room. So many people showed up.
I was.
But you're
here.
required to do that.
Okay. Then my next question is, can you make sure if we do have a vote, is it possible to make sure that people understand that if you're a snowboard and you don't want to use that, your money's not wasted. I can buy it from you. I'm at the restaurant 3 days a week.
Yeah.
So I just think everyone, are you prepared to if it comes to a vote, to let everybody know you could use it at Federici's, you can use it, sell it to
If
your
it ever gets
neighbors.
to that point, there'll be a special meeting explaining all that
Okay.
stuff. And so people fully understand what they're voting for and what it all means.
All right, because we've done it before.
Yeah.
I was.
Well, I
here.
haven't done it, but it's been done before and I saw it because I
It
was
was
living
done
here
when
at
I
the
lived here
time.
and people were knocking on my door, don't
Okay.
vote for it,
Yeah,
but it
but
was passed.
It's legally required that we do that.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else with questions? We have no questions on Zoom. We've been monitoring that as well. If we have no more questions from the floor, we can adjourn this meeting. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thank you all. Appreciate you showing up. Thank you.